It's somewhat ironic, perhaps, that the summer you get diagnosed with ALS is the summer that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge absolutely takes off and goes through the roof. When you first saw that last summer, what goes through your mind?
I don't call it irony. I call it good luck or fate or something, but let me tell you what I was going through at the time. Diagnosed in April, told my close friends and family, and was keeping this a secret when August came around. This was not public knowledge. This was not anyone's business but my own. So I was going through this internal struggle of, when do I tell people? How long can I keep this secret? Do people notice things that are wrong with me? What's the way to come out and tell the world, hey, by the way, they say I'm dying? And it just, what a struggle that was for me, and to live, almost to live a lie in a lot of senses, to not be able to be my true self, and people say, hey, how are you? And you're like, well, I'm not doing well. When you're not able to do that, you're putting yourself in prison, really. So along comes the Ice Bucket Challenge. I start to see a video here, a video there. I'm like, and of course my family who knows, they're like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen it? I'm like, yeah, I saw that. And this thing starts to just blow, and I'm like, hey, now's the time. This is obviously made for me. This is my perfect opportunity to come out and tell the world what's going on and really embrace this platform. And I knew what would happen. I knew that Nashville and the Titans would get behind me, and I knew it would be a big deal. And I didn't want the notoriety for what I was going through, but I wanted the notoriety for everyone else going through ALS. And I want people to know what Lou Gehrig's disease is, and I want people to understand that we need help. We need funding, we need research, we need help, and we need hope. And so I took it upon myself to say, let's do this. Let me put myself out there and use all that God's given me through the NFL and through football for a really powerful, positive purpose. So the Ice Bucket Challenge, perfect timing.
The Ice Bucket Challenge is kind of getting a second wind here in August. You've been a big part of that. What's so important of keeping that challenge going?
I think the wave of the first Ice Bucket Challenge last year caught everybody off guard, and wow, I gotta get involved in this. So the novelty of it has worn off. But what we need to do is push through that this is no longer the trendy, cool thing to do, and say, hey, this still matters. That doing this Ice Bucket Challenge again this year can still make a difference, and it will. Every dollar we raise will go towards research and helping people with ALS. And now the disease is known, now we need to start pushing for consistent annual fundraisers that continue to raise awareness and continue to raise funds to help people. Because guess what? A year later, there's still no cure. There's still nothing that will help me to live a better life as I fight ALS. So I need people to know that. I need people to understand that, yeah, it was fun, it was a trend, it was a fad, but now it's actually more important. Now it's not cool, but you know what? It's necessary.
Because of who you are, you became a very easy choice of kind of a spokesperson for ALS worldwide, really. How much do you embrace that role and the opportunity to speak to people far and wide?
One thing I don't take lightly is the fact that I can still speak. 70% of people who diagnosed with ALS start in their throat and mouth, and they lose the ability to swallow and to speak. And so I don't take that lightly at all, that I still have a voice. As my body deteriorates, I can still speak, and I believe that's for a purpose. I can speak on this and on behalf of all those who cannot speak. So I don't take it lightly at all. And I jump at opportunities to get involved in someone's fundraiser. The Muscular Dystrophy Association is doing a gala here in Nashville at City Winery October 6th. And the ALS Association, we have a walk on September 26th. I am honored to mention those and to be involved with those fundraisers.
People have heard your message about ALS loud and clear, I believe. You also spend a lot of time speaking to football players and teams, whether it be the Titans last year, or going back to Penn State or youth teams. I know that means a lot to you. How do you think those players, people who were in the shoes that you were once in, how do you think they hear your message?
I think it hits them hard. I think it hits them very hard because as a football player, I was invincible. I was a monster. I walked into a room and I knew I was one of the toughest dudes in that room. I had worked for it. I had earned it, and that was my mindset all the time. So I know the mindset of a football player. And when they see me and they see my weakness and they see where I've come and where I've been, it scares them a little bit, and it opens their eyes up a little bit, and they say, hey, if it could happen to him, it could happen to anybody, any one of us. And what I want for them to do is to embrace their day and say, hey, today I'm going to play my hardest. Today I'm going to give everything to my teammates. Today I'm going to give everything to this game and to my life. And so I hope I hope they're inspired by that. I hope it causes them to step back and examine themselves and examine their life of what's really important to them. But I think as an athlete, it's tough to get a reminder from one of your own, from a guy who's been where you are, or has been where you want to be. I think it hits them the hardest.
Do you wonder if football did this to you?
I do wonder. I do wonder if football was the cause that woke up some genetic problem in me. And that's why I push for research so much. I push and I push and I say, we need to know. All those players that I just talked about that are playing football right now or that will play football, they need to know. They deserve to know whether this game has the potential to cause such a life-threatening illness. And if it does, then they can make that choice for themselves. But when I played the game of football, I never thought I would do anything that would risk my life. Now I knew I might have some crinkly knees and a bad back when I'm 50 and maybe, a shoulder that doesn't work. Those are the risks I was willing to take. I signed up for that. But guys need to know, is this game causing them serious head injuries that will affect them when they're not that old?
So if someone would have told you or could tell you now that you playing football for all those many years is why you're sitting in the situation you are today, would you do anything different?
Such a difficult question, and I could give you both answers right now. The way I feel right now, no. I actually wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have played as long. If someone could tell me, you get 1 year in the NFL and that's the limit and then you're at risk, I would stop, because guess what? Now the rest of my life is at risk, and there's so many things that I want to do, so many things that this world has that are just fun and special, and the relationships. But it's so hard to look back on my football career and think ill of it. I mean, I loved it, every minute of it. The pain, the getting cut, the moving, the teammates, the games, the block punts, the tackles. I mean, I loved it. And the game has given me so much. I've been so blessed with opportunity and with people, and just, I love it. It's been awesome. So if someone were to tell me it was going to cost me my future, it would be tough to give it up, but I probably would have to.
What